Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Build Arendelle. Last episode we built the whole of the walls around the outside of the castle. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get started on the main mansion castle in the middle, the house, with the bedrooms and everything. But last episode we got finished with the walls around the outside. We built a bridge out the front, but didn't quite complete it. There's still a few things we need to work on though. For one, there's not enough detail on the walls. Now, there's absolutely no detail apart from brick in the movie, but that's something I want to change. I want to add some more detail. Also, these towers, the tops of them, I'm not completely 100% sure I'm happy with how they've turned out as well. So there's something I'll come back to, but first I wanted to start up with the bridge that connects the kingdom to the town itself. This is bridging over from the front entrance of Arendelle over to the mainland. So I built over 2 sticks, quite high up, I think about 5 or 6 blocks, out of stone brick, filled them in with stone slabs as a pathing, and then using coloured wool blocks, I worked out some spacing in between the two. I calculated a wool block every 5 blocks, and then I alternated them pink and blue. And then on the blue wool blocks, we're going to have struts, stone supports that lean down from the bridge and dip into the water, and these are going to be what holds up the bridge itself. Although it's Minecraft and you don't actually need to hold anything up because gravity doesn't exist here, and we don't need structurally to hold up heavy brickwork. But all the same, I think the look is important. Now I'm using etched stone brick here as pillars where the wool blocks were, and then I'm using upside down stone brick steps on the wall section of this bridge, just because it lets us add a little bit more detail. And then with the bridge complete, or rather with the side detail complete, I wanted to build a mock-up of the flags and lighting that we're going to have on this bridge. Now, in the movie, there are these draping tapestries that have a green and purple flag with lanterns that hang down from it. And that's what I've recreated here with wooden fence posts, wool, and glowstone blocks that are actually textured like lamps. Now with that mock-up in place, I pasted in some more support arches, fixing the detail where I had to. And then as night fell, it was time to copy and paste in the rest of these lanterns. Oh, and as the light is reflected off of the water down below, it just looks so amazing. I really can't wait to get into the lighting and the detail of this build. And that's why it's taking a little bit extra time. I want to do Arendelle justice. I want to make it look really magnificent. And making sure that happens takes a lot of time. So now I came over to the front entrance, and there are 2 doors either side of the main door. And that makes sense because a castle this big with the main doors that huge, it's going to be a real effort opening them all the time. So for when you just want to let the cleaner in, or when you want to walk outside with a bag of potatoes, or go for a cycle ride, you can use one of these side doors. It's much more convenient. So I added those in, and I fixed up some wall sections next to those. Now, in the movie, the walls have nothing on the sides of them. There's no detail at all. But I wanted to add some ways to light up the wall. And the best way to light up big castle walls like this is to put windows in and have torches behind them. So here are a few mock-ups of a motif that I was working on, and I wanted to see what they look like at night as well, so I took the lights down. And I'm happy with those, but I thought there were too many. So I took away 2 of them and kept that motif and bridged it over on the other side of the door just to see how it looked over there, and I was pretty happy. So I copied that motif all the way around the walls of the castle. And now one last thing I wanted to decorate was this square stone tower here. So using stone brick, I added a bit of bracing on the corners, bridged over with upside down stone brick steps, and then created the framework for 2 large windows here. Well, I say large, they're kind of medium sized. And using stone bricks and stone brick steps and etched stone brick here as well, I created those windows, added iron bars, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use iron bars on the windows of the castle walls, and then when we get to the actual manor and the house inside, we're going to switch over to using glass panes instead. Again, just adding detail here and there in the form of chipping away at the corners of this building and replacing that with iron bars, and taking out some of the segments of wall and replacing it with upside down stone brick steps for a little bit of extra detail. And now it's time to start building the design of the inside of these walls, because when you look at the inside of the castle, the walls are not sheer and flat. On the inside, these walls are they're balconies. They're all balconies with lots and lots of brightly coloured plants, flower boxes, and pillars holding up these wooden steps. It's very much more like a house than a defensible castle on the inside. Much more luxurious. So I'm using dirt blocks here with wooden hatches on the side that I've put to the up position, to the open position. So that makes it look like these are wooden planks on the outside of those dirt blocks. And that creates a kind of flower box effect. And then to hold up this balcony section, I built these fancy stone brick step columns here. Now I created one, and once I was happy with the one that I created, I copy and pasted it along to the other pillars. Looking pretty good so far? Yeah, I think so. I like how that looks. So what else was there to do? I had to change the floor on the inside to slab. There's a lot of detail that's going to go inside that level on the bottom that I haven't added yet, and I won't add until much later. But also this area is going to need some lights, so I added some upside down stone brick steps, some fence posts, and again these retextured glowstone blocks that look more like medieval lanterns. Pretty good. And once I changed the pillars as well at the top, it was time to move on to the tops of these towers. I started chipping away block by block, but that wasn't quick enough, so I changed to an airbrush with Voxel Sniper, and once I cleared out all the space, I started to build up with stone bricks. Now I toyed around with a few ideas for this. I built up with stone brick steps, used wooden logs, and I even used that kind of quartz Tudor effect that we have on the front gate at the top of the tower. But I wasn't really happy with how it turned out. Even with the blue peaked roof on it, it didn't quite look good enough. So what I did is I went back and I changed the wood at the top into stone brick. And this is a look I'm somewhat happy with for the moment. I might come back and do another pass on those towers. But before I spend too long dizzying myself with detail on those towers, I decided I would come back and build this lighthouse facing out towards the river. And again using the cylinder tool from World Edit to create some perfectly sized cylinders that sped up my creation of this tower by like about 100% or so. Or maybe more like 1,000. And this tower starts off quite thick. It's got like a pyramid base. Then it gets thin on the middle and it gets fatter at the top. So I kept that and I used stone brick steps on the borders to smooth that out. Then I built up with some wooden log pillars, added a whole bunch of glowstone on the middle, surrounded it in glass panes, gave it a blue tiled roof, and there we go. I was done with the lighthouse. Now as we swoop in from the river and you can see the beautiful reflection on the water, this is how the ships are going to be greeted when they come to visit the castle Arendelle at night. Any wayfarers or merchants or lords even that need to come and visit the castle and happen to land when it's nighttime should find their way easily inside the castle. And here you go, as we swoop around the edge of the castle, you can see that finished motif on the outside walls, lighting up the whole of the castle. And again, the inside of the castle, this kind of balcony section underneath the largest section of wall at the back. And this is pretty much what we're going to repeat along most of the wall sections. Not all of them are as big as this though, so we're going to have to work out some way to get them smaller, but that's basically the kind of motif and design that we're going to stick with for the rest of the walls. Now I'm really happy with this shader change because, oh man, the light reflections on the water just look fantastic, and the moonlight ricocheting off those rooftops looks fantastic too. So I've been Sjin and this has been Let's Build Arendelle. Next episode, what I think we're probably going to try and do is we'll finish up the balcony sections on the inside of the walls, and we'll also make a start on the foundations of the main house itself. So hit like and favourite and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Let's Build. Take care.